What's up, guys? LQ here with the LQ Review. Thank you so much for joining me here at my YouTube channel. This is where we talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff that we love to talk about. Movies, video games, comic books, and TV shows. And right now I'd like to talk about the newish movie, Young Woman and the Sea. So I missed this one when it was in theaters. I don't think it had a very wide release in theaters. And it's one that I wanted to see because I'm a big history buff. So once it dropped on Disney Plus, I was able to catch it. It's about Trudy Ederle, the first woman to swim across the English Channel, about 22 miles across. Very dangerous, lots of currents, jellyfish, sharks, things of that nature. And up to this point, when this movie takes place, there had been a handful of men to do it, but no women had done it. So she, excuse me, she becomes a competitive swimmer. She starts swimming in the pool, and she starts breaking world records left and right, to the dismay of everybody, especially her dad. She starts breaking all these world records in swimming. And eventually she wants to tackle this huge feat of swimming across the English Channel. Now, being the history nerd that I am, this is something that I didn't know a lot about, but I had to dive into what really happened. I love watching biography movies about real life people and real life events, because it can teach me things that I didn't know. And oftentimes what happens is I watch the movie and then I dive into the real history of it. And that's exactly what I did here. Got into the real history, and it was very fascinating. And it was also cool how closely they stuck with the true story. Now, as with any true story that's being adapted to a Hollywood movie, there's going to be liberties taken, and there is liberties taken here. She had two attempts. The first attempt she failed. It was probably not her fault that she failed. She was probably set up. That's true in the real life case, and that's true in the movie. The details of how she was set up tend to not match up with what happened in real life, but bottom line is she was probably set up to fail on that first attempt. Second attempt, she was successful. Second attempt in the movie takes place almost immediately after her first attempt, where in real life, I think there was about a year. If I remember correctly, there's about a year between attempts. But she leads a fascinating life, ends up teaching deaf people how to swim. Just a really cool character, really cool person in history that probably doesn't get the attention that she deserves. Daisy Ridley did a great job of portraying this character. I'm a big Daisy Ridley fan. Am I a big fan of the sequel trilogy? No, but that doesn't mean that I don't think Daisy Ridley is a very competent actress. I mean, I really liked her in the Marsh King's Daughter. I really liked her in Murder on the Orient Express. You know, I've liked her in pretty much everything that she's been in. I think she does a good job of elevating the material, and that's what she did here. Was she elevated the material. Interesting story, made even more interesting by her performance. So, negatives, not a lot of negatives here. I mean, by no means is this going to be like my favorite movie of the year or anything like that. But when you start talking about negatives, you start talking about story flow. Could there have been a tighter narrative here? Maybe. The beginning part tended to meander on a little bit as she was overcoming a disease that she had. I think she had measles. She was overcoming that. They was afraid of her going deaf if she was swimming. So it really went into her backstory a lot, and I feel like some of that could have been tightened up a little bit. They really leaned into the patriarchy is bad thing, and I get it. You know, this was a time period when women had limited opportunities, but you know, it's 2024. We get it. Patriarchy's bad. Okay. I don't know. They just want to keep driving that message home. All right, we all get it. We all get it. But this movie definitely leaned very heavily on the evils of the evil, obnoxious patriarchy. And but like I said, for historical accuracy, yeah, there was limited opportunities, and she definitely broke through a lot of those barriers, and it's a very inspirational story. So, you know, I definitely go very positive on this film. Like I said, not going to be one of my favorite movies of the year, but definitely going very positive here. So if I were to give it a score, I'd probably end up somewhere around 7 out of 10. So That's Where I Fall on Young Woman in the Sea. Have you seen it? If you've seen it, let me know what you thought of it in the comments below. While you're down there commenting, subscribe to my channel, and until next time, we'll see you guys later.